So what is this?
It's lower.
No, it's taller. Downpipes are in. We cannot wait to hear how it sounds. This is so much fun. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Jeffrey from PSR Parts. Today we are going to work on a 992 Carrera S. We are going to install a height adjustable spring kit from Cobra Suspension. The car has already been lowered and that is on H&R springs. However, the car sits way too low. This car is for sale at Bernard's Exclusives. So for sales purposes, we want to raise the ride height a bit, give the new owner the drivability, flexibility to give the car the ride height that he desires. With this spring kit from H&R, the car is the ride height is fixed, so you cannot change that. And with the height adjustable spring from Cobra Suspension, it is possible. Cobra Suspension will be here in a minute, so we will do the development together with them. This is a height adjustable spring kit that is still under development, which means we need to test it, we need to do measurements. And with those measurements, we can of course introduce the spring kit towards the market. It means that the kit has been thoroughly tested before sales, which means that you will know what to expect, we will know what you will expect. So as you can see, the car sits really low. It looks amazing. However, for daily drivability, it is just a bit too low. This car is for sale at Bernard's Exclusives, so we will help them out to raise the car a bit. And with that, you will also create a bit more comfort, a bit more drivability. And that allows the owner to be flexible with what he afterwards wants with this spring kit. So if the new owner wants the car sit as low as this, it is possible. If the new owner wants to sit higher, it's also possible. I'll walk you through the modifications that are on this car. So the car has been PPF'd in a matte PPF, which gives the car a frosty, icy look, which is great. It is a quite a special color. And as you have seen probably, the car is on Vossen HF5s. It also has a custom exhaust from IPE, although you cannot see that from the outside. So it's quite stealthy, but the turbo sounds on this thing is insane. So before we start working on the suspension, we of course do a test drive first, see how it drives, see if there's any weird sound in the suspension that we need to solve first. And afterwards we're going to start uninstalling the original shock absorbers or the H&R springs and install the height adjustable spring kit to see how it rides afterwards. So of course what I really like about the 992 is that they still kept the start button right over here. It is not a key anymore, but you still have to turn something to get the car going. So that's what we're going to do now and see how it sounds. I love this car. It's really loud. It's not even in the louder exhaust mode yet. It needs some time to warm up. Then if it's out of its cold start mode, it will open the valves. So right now when you press the button, nothing happens. So we just came back from the test drive. I'll introduce you to Robin, my old colleague at Cobra Suspension. He'll walk you through it to what we are going to do today. Already explained about what we are going to test. So it's the height adjustable spring kit from Cobra Suspension 4992 Carrera S. And yeah, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, well, today we're going to install the height adjustable spring kit on this Porsche 911. We developed these hatch kits on our own, and today we are testing and validating if our design is correct. We're going to raise this car. As you can see right now, it's already quite low, and we're going to make it a bit higher so it's more drivable, and it's better to sell the car for our customers.
Yeah, great. So what we found out during the test drive, the car turns in sharply. So the spring kit that is on right now is actually not too bad in terms of the handling. However, I think it's a bit too stiff, especially on this ride height. So when you have short bumps, you will feel that the car gets unsettled a little bit. The trade-off is that it drives like a kart. So it's not too bad, but for daily drivability, I think it's better to raise the car by maybe 10 mil, 15 mil, something like that. So the car is sellable, it's more drivable, and it looks better, in my opinion, because this, especially on the front, is just a bit too low, I think. So I think we will start with taking the measurements of the current ride height, so we can compare the current ride height with the ride height when we install the height adjustable springs. Of course, that one is adjustable, so when we think that the car sits too high, too low, we can still do it afterwards, and that's of course the benefit of a kit like this. Other benefit is of course you can keep the dynamic damping on the car, because you are not replacing it for a coilover, so it means that the car will still remain its dynamic control from the computer. Means you can just adjust it as originally, just that the car has also height adjustability. I think we'll start measuring then, right?
Yeah, right.
So we'll measure the ride height from the center of the wheel towards the wheel arch. And on this wheel, the center is harder to determine, so we'll measure the center cap, divide that by 2, and measure straight up. We'll write those measurements down, and then we know what to do with our height adjustable spring kit in a few hours time. So we got the kit out over here. Robin is going to explain what the kit does.
Yeah, so here we have the front springs and the front adjusters. As you can see, we have a pretty big platform that we can adjust in ride height or in height. And with adjusting this, the front will raise. It is placed on the top mount, and with this screw we can set or fix the ride height. On the rear we have almost an identical system. Again, we have an adjuster, and with this adjuster we can adjust a lot more than on the front. We use a 100 Newton per millimeter spring rate on the rear, together with a flat wire adjuster spring to have enough pre-tension and to lower the spring or the car grade. We're also going to replace the bump stops, because we're going to lower the car a lot. Since we don't want the ride to be too harsh, we use shorter bump stops to give the car more comfort on ride height.
Okay, so that's cool. I think it's time to install the kit on the car, so we'll put the car on the lift and then get going with the installation. So right now we are measuring the open length of the shock absorber. This determines the minimal length that the springs has to be to have enough pre-tension on the shock absorber. So the height adjustable springs have been installed on the front. You can see it over here. This is the new Cobra Suspension height adjustable spring. This is the original spring seat, but right over here on the top you can see that it has the height adjustable top mount. This top mount allows us to manipulate the ride height afterwards. So we now set it to the lowest setting. We'll see how it looks. If required, we will raise or lower the ride height according to the customer's liking. So let's continue. So to reach the rear shock absorber, we need to get into the interior, behind the rear seats. You can see them right over there. One over there and one over here. You need to remove the top mounts, 3 nuts, and then you can just take the shock absorber out from the underside. Okay, we got the shock absorber uninstalled from the car. Got it over here. We're going to remove the lowering springs that were on the car and install the height adjustable platform, the springs, and we'll show you how to do it. Yeah.
So here we go. Installation of the old spring is really simple. Just take it off. Installing the platform, adjust the platform is really simple as well. You can just pull away the bottom platform and you have to make sure this adjustering is in the second groove.
Yeah.
Then you get or adjust the platform. Fits like a glove.
Ha.
Then you put on the racing spring, make sure that the coating is correct.
There we go.
Like this. Then we got the platform ring for our flat wire spring. And on top of it we got our adjuster platform for the OEM top mount. We're gonna install an aftermarket bump stop from us. And we're gonna uninstall the original ones. Then we put on the washer in between, on top of the coil. Make sure it's like this. Then we mount the OEM top mount. Make sure that all the parts are
in the right orientation. Okay.
And then we put back the bump stop on top.
The second one over there.
The second bump stop.
Okay.
There you use the OEM one. Also make sure that it has the right alignment in the top mounts.
Yep.
And then we're gonna use the OEM mounts to put everything together.
Great.
That's how you install the HES kit on the rear from a Porsche 992.
Great. So we'll fixate everything, make sure everything sits correctly. We will check what ride height we should use. Not sure what we are gonna put it on. Probably a lowest setting first, and then we'll see how it sits on the on its springs.
Exactly.
Oh, let's get going. So we got the original shock absorber installed with the height adjustable platform. Original top mount has been reused with their own bump stops. It's like this. Height adjustment. So yeah, let's get it in the car and see how it looks. So we got the rear shock absorber installed. It's right over here. The height adjustment is just down here, so it's easily accessible. We'll put it down on the floor and see how it looks, and then adjust accordingly. So what is this? No, it's taller. So everything has been installed. I think we should drop it down to the floor. Let's go. That looks low, 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 but it's taller than before. We got the 992 back on the floor and it looks amazing. This is the lowest setting, lowest on the front, lowest on the rear. We need to adjust the rear accordingly because the rear sits a bit lower than the front. So we do so on the lift. Yeah.
So as you can see, we lowered the Porsche and we redefined the stands. Right now we're gonna have a test drive to check if everything is okay. So come with us.
So we are now test driving the car. We are now in sport mode. The car is still very compliant. It is on the front on the lowest setting. On the rear we raised the rear with I think it was 15 mil, 20 mil, something like that. So it has like 5-6 millimeter forward brake, and we tested on some twisted roads. The front grips really well. Rear also a lot of grip. Of course the tires on the Vossen HF5 help. They are 335 wide on the rear, so grip is not a problem when it's dry. We also test drive the car, of course, in normal mode. You can select anything here. You put it in normal mode, so the suspension slackens off. It will be more comfortable. Right now, with this lowering, it doesn't feel like a very uncomfortable car. That way it's still a nice cruiser. And with the lowering, you are quite low to the ground, so the center of gravity has also been lowered, of course. And the grip is just amazing. The car is so compliant. You feel confident on the front axle. And that's of course what counts in these cars, because you buy these cars for fun, right? With the front axle that gives you so much confidence, you can attack corners, you can push the car anything you like, and the car will just listen. It's incredible. See? It's flying over a bump and it feels like it's nothing. It's nothing. It's great. It's great. What do you think, Robin?
I think it's perfect.
Right?
It drives amazing, especially on the twisty roads. It's perfect.
Testing a few bumps now and it's super comfortable. It's incredible how low it is. Even though with this ride height, in normal mode, the bumps are filtered quite well. And if you put it in sport mode, you just feel so much more of the road. It's nothing too much, and that's what you want with a height adjustable spring kit like this. You want to be compliant, you want it to be sporty, but not too much. So it's still a good daily driver. We raised the car a bit for the customer, so it's also more daily usable. Its drivability has been improved, so I'm happy. Okay, we are back from our test drive. Super happy with the height adjustable springs. The car sits so well in the corners and gives so much confidence when you throw it in. And it also sits a bit higher, so you got also a bit more comfort compared to original, or at least what it was on the original lowering springs that was on the car. What is the number that we raised the car with?
So we raised the front and the rear with 10 millimeters. Right now the car is way more comfortable. It's perfect to drive in your hometown, around in the city, but also on the highway it's really comfortable, but still gives a really confident ride. So I think this is the perfect sitting for your Porsche 911.
Okay, I want to thank Robin for visiting us. The height adjustable springs are just perfect for this car. Great to develop this together with Cobra Suspension. We want to thank Bernard's Exclusives for lending us this car for development. It's a win-win situation. The car was too low. With this height adjustable spring from Cobra Suspension, the car is now much more compliant, and that's what we were after. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for visiting us, and see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Great. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.